Welcome to Dear Diary, the self-love podcast. This is your place to dive deep into personal development and self-love inspiration, connecting you to your intuition, your body, and your higher self, while unlocking and activating your confidence and inner power, inspiring you to show up and choose you over everything that gets thrown in your way, instead of listening to the limiting beliefs running around inside of your head. We will explore a variety of topics from conquering fear, letting go of doubt, self awareness, mom guilt, trusting your intuition, along with a ton of self care tools that I'll be sharing along the way. With solo sessions and a magnetic guest list of remarkable souls, this is my platform to empower others while using my voice to share my self love, growth, and healing journey. I hope that this podcast serves you well and you get as much value from it as I do sharing it. So here we go. Hi, it's me. Welcome back to a new episode of Dear Diary, the Self Love Podcast. We're going to get right into it today. I am so excited to talk to you about this new experience that I've been getting curious about and tapping into lately. And it's proven to be such a wild ride. There is so much unknown that I'm leaning into, and it almost feels like I'm Alice in Wonderland, and I've just like fallen down the rabbit hole and I'm just spiraling. And I find myself seated at a table with tea. Like, you ever watch that movie when you were little? That was literally my most favorite movie, all versions of it. And that's how I feel. I feel like I've fallen down a rabbit hole and I'm sort of lost, but right on track. And I know exactly where I'm going, even though I have no clue. It feels super uneasy and untapped into, but very safe and exciting. And yeah, I'm just really excited to talk to you about what it is and how you can tap into this yourself. So let's get right into it. Before I even explain what I'm talking about, I want you to just check in with yourself for a second. So take a deep breath, no matter where you are or what you're doing, and just land here in this moment and get quiet for a second. If there's other things around you, just tune them out. What do you notice? What can you hear? Are there still sounds that you can hear? Maybe it's the voices in your head. That's okay. We're just getting curious. What can you smell? What do you taste? Is there anything you can feel? Physically, emotionally? This is stillness. And if you do it long enough, you will hear the whispers of your soul. And I know that sounds super woo. Just hear me out. When you can slow down and intentionally cultivate this sense of calm and quiet, you can access a much deeper version of yourself. I've talked about this in a previous episode when I did the 5-day self-love experience. We talked about stillness. I'm still utilizing stillness, but in a much deeper level. Really listening to the whispers, following the nudges. Because the more you do it and the more you cultivate this daily practice of stillness, the more you shut out the external and tap into the internal noises and voices and nudges, the louder they become and the more clarity you get around what the heck they're telling you to do. This is the rabbit hole we speak of. A few weeks ago, I had this I was super triggered in this experience with another person, super triggered. I wanted to lash out. I wanted to come from anger. I was frustrated. I felt judged. There was an overwhelming amount of almost fear. And instead of reacting, instead of coming from this place, I just got quiet and I just sat with it. I let the thoughts come and go. I didn't try to change or fix or judge them. I just allowed them to be there. I felt into why I felt this way. It made a lot of sense. I came to it with compassion. And then this voice inside of me that has gotten louder and louder. It's the whispers of your soul that can turn into screams. It said, come from a place of love instead. And I was like, what? No? They don't deserve love. I feel shamed and blamed and wrong, and that doesn't feel good. Why would I come to this with love? They don't deserve love. They need to be shown what's up. And I was like, okay, let's listen a little longer. And then it was like, oh yeah, that's actually exactly what I do. Oh wow. That actually would feel really good to be the bigger person. That actually would feel so nourishing for me to experience approaching them with love, because that's exactly what they need right now. That's why they're so loud. That's why the words that they're speaking seem like this shamey, blamey place of hate, because they actually need love the most right now. And for me to be able to give them that, oh, how empowering would that feel? And it was just like, boom, okay. And then the key here is I followed that inspired action. I followed that nudge and took action on it. I didn't just sit with it and let my ego, change my mind or tell me it was a bad idea or let myself talk myself out of it. I immediately took action. And so it tapped me into this deeper level of self-awareness and empowerment. And it allowed me to really just listen to what was alive inside of me and not what my ego was feeling fearful of and not what my monkey mind was telling me to do, because that's not actually who I am. That trigger activated my fear centers. It activated my defense mechanisms. But that's not actually who we are when those faulty operating systems chime in and come online. That's not actually who we are. So really getting quiet long enough to listen to, okay, how do you really feel about this? And then it gave me the opportunity to take aligned action towards something that really lit me up. And so I invite you now to get curious. What would it feel like to tap into a deeper sense of self-awareness that can lead you down this path of ease and peace? That whisper that was more like a loud voice that told me to lead with love, what resulted from that was pure magic. It tapped me into a deeper level of empowerment and self-awareness, and just it activated everything in me. paying attention to the whispers of my soul instead of ignoring them, or instead of thinking, oh, that's a bad idea. Oh, that won't work. Or instead of ignoring them altogether because I'm so focused on paying attention to what's outside of me, because what is outside of us, the external world, the news, society, our parents, our kids, the needs of those that we love, the commitments that we are finding ourselves in all the time, the to-do list, like the never-ending list of things that are so loud outside of us. It makes it so easy to ignore or not listen to what's going on inside of us. So allowing your voice of truth to be heard instead of the noise in the outside world, turning up the volume inside and turning down the volume outside. And in order to do this, my friends, you get to just be quiet. Sometimes it's for 5 minutes. Sometimes it's for an hour. But carving out the time every day to make that a priority, to just be in stillness. Write down what you hear. Journal and reflect on it. Maybe it makes no sense. It's not going to make any sense, actually. In the beginning, it's not going to make any sense at all whatsoever. And then eventually you start to put together these puzzle pieces and the voices get louder and you start to trust them more. They start to make more sense. And they start to lead you down this beautiful path that takes you deeper and deeper into who you truly are. There's some of you listening right now, and I'm almost judging myself a little bit of like, you probably think I sound crazy. There's a good chance that some of you listening might, and that's okay. It means you're not ready yet. And the that's okay, it means you're not ready yet was from within. It wasn't my ego. It wasn't my mind. My ego and my mind are going, people are going to think you're fucking crazy. You've got voices in your head now. What are they going to say now? I'm getting quiet long enough to be like, no, actually, it's okay. They're just not ready to hear it yet. They're not ready to shut out all of the noise and the chatter that they've been listening to on autopilot their entire lives. It's okay. This is something that I've been just really, really tapping into. I've been reading books about it, listening to your intuition, because that's what this is. It's your intuition. It's listening to what's inside of you. It's listening to your gut instincts. It's getting out of your head and into your body. Victoria Washington, her motto, her mantra, she says this all the time: body leads, mind follows. When you can listen to what's alive inside of your body and then allow your mind to follow, that is what leads you down this beautiful path, instead of what we've been doing of listening to the mind and like your body just sort of catches up, or it doesn't, and it's creating disease from that place. So I invite you, allow yourself to daydream, allow yourself to just sit in silence. Trust this instinctive calling from within. Trust this inner guidance system that we all have. It's just a matter of tapping into it. So, this is going to be my workshop this month. And I am so excited to bring it to you. Every month I do a free workshop. This one is The Soul's Journey. It's going to be later this month. And basically, it's an interactive hour with me where we are going to slow down and cultivate this deep sense of calm and quiet so that we can access this deeper part of ourselves, so that we can really tap into our intuition and create space long enough to follow the nudges, to listen to the inspired action steps, to get out of autopilot and tap into what's going on inside of us. I am so excited to bring this to you. And the reason why I wanted to do these free workshops is just to really share my experiences and what's going on with me and what tools am I using and what's helping me get through some of my more difficult seasons. This workshop will be on May 26th at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Just come. Come, show up as you are. Even if you're like, I don't even know if I could do this. I don't even know if I could access any of this. I don't even know if this makes sense. Come anyway with an open heart and a curious mind and see if we can tap you into this version of you that's inside of you. You just are too busy to notice. There is magic hidden within you. And I know that all of you listening have probably felt this in one way or another. This like unexplainable nudge or urge, or this like soft, faint voice, which is super easy to ignore. It's you get into the car and you get ready to leave for the day, but something is telling you to go back inside because you forgot something. Or just maybe just something's telling you to go back inside. And then you realize you left your back door unlocked, or you left the stove on, or you forgot your important paperwork that you needed for the day, right? It's like, oh, yeah, I'm so glad I came back in here. That wasn't a coincidence. That was your intuition. There's so many examples of this. When I was tapped into this really triggered moment of like anger and frustration and feeling blamed and shamed, it was like this voice was like, no, come from a place of love. And it was so subtle and so soft, but yet so loud and so definite that like I couldn't not follow it. And the result of that, I'm still continuing to see the results from that one action. I'm sure you could probably think of examples where you've experienced these, what we call coincidences. Are they a coincidence? Or was it the whisper of your soul and you didn't even realize it? Maybe that's the same thing. I have this friend, she's a friend, client. She has these books and she will literally just flip through the pages and then open the book on whatever page she decides to. And she reads the first sentence of the book. And that sentence typically hits her right in her feels. It's like exactly the thing that she needed to read in that moment. That is what I'm talking about. The soul's calling to flip through a book, stop on a page, read a sentence, boom. It's such a simple little thing. So we're going to get curious about that on the workshop. I'm so excited. The replay will be available for the Healing Sanctuary members only. Let's tap into your intuition. Let's see how we can perceive the world through this lens of our soul, not from the mind, from our expectations, from our external environments, but from what's deep inside of us. And just get curious. Maybe you just experiment and play with it. Maybe it makes no sense and you just put it on the back burner. But I just want to open up this conversation because it's something that has helped me work through a lot in the last few months. I feel like I've been training myself to be more fluent in the language of my soul. The more I trust, the more I listen, the louder these nudges become and the more they inspire me to take action and gain momentum towards my deepest desires and wants. It is the coolest fucking thing. So if you think I'm crazy, it's fine. If you're like, come. And if you're like, yeah, hell yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about, come and let's tap into that. Because when you get together, a group of women that are on this same journey, desiring peace and ease. We're all desiring more peace and ease in our lives, and really just getting curious with an open heart of what is this? I want more of this. Oh my God. So much magic comes from that place. So I'm excited to see you then. Reach out to me if you need an invite. If you're not on my mailing list, I'm going to put everything in the show notes, all the links for all the things. Get on my mailing list. That is where I will be sending out the invite link for the Zoom. I'm so excited. I can't wait. I will see you guys soon. And until next time, I'll see you around. And that is it for today's episode. I hope that these words activated and inspired something inside of you. And if they did, please share this episode with a friend or on your social media, and feel free to tag me so that I can say thank you. The more people who hear these words along their path, the more we can help inspire and heal the world. Don't forget to hit subscribe and leave a review. Trust me, your future self will thank you. Sending love and light until next time. I'll see you soon.